Hello and welcome to Zelda Lore. Today, I'll be going over the history of the Children of the Forest, the Kokiri. So, who exactly are the Kokiri? The Kokiri are a small group of ageless children who live in the Kokiri forest under the protection of the Great Deku Tree. The Kokiri were first introduced in Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and currently, the only other game they've appeared in is Wind Waker. Prior to Ocarina of Time, the Kokiri were originally Hylians. Their history began back when the Hylians were first developing civilizations, cities, and were relying on a less natural way of life. The Kokiri disagreed with this lifestyle and distanced themselves from the Hylians by going into the forest in order to live in unison with the forest. This origin was revealed in page 50 of the Legend of Zelda Encyclopedia. At some point in time, the Kokiri met the Great Deku Tree and would become his children. Prior to the events of Ocarina of Time, an injured Hylian woman and her baby fled into the Lost Woods in order to escape from the war that had engulfed Hyrule. Before the woman died, she had came across the Great Deku Tree and entrusted her son, named Link, to him. Link would grow up among the Kokiri and would later become known as the Hero of Time. In Ocarina of Time, the Kokiri lived peacefully in the forest under the protection of the Great Deku Tree, until one day, the Great Deku Tree was killed. His death was due to Ganondorf using the parasite Goma to kill him. After the death of the Great Deku Tree and Link's departure from Kokiri Forest, the forest had become infested with monsters, causing the Kokiri to hide in their homes. This continued on for 7 years, until Link, who had now become an adult, returned to the forest and cleansed the nearby forest temple of the evil that had lurked within it. This caused the Kokiri named Saria to become the new Forest Sage, and allowed the Deku Tree Sprout to be born. However, because of the ending to Ocarina of Time, these events only occurred in the adult timeline, and most likely in the downfall timeline as well. At some point in the adult timeline, long before the events of Wind Waker, a Kokiri named Fado became the Sage of the Wind. As a sage, Fado worked with the King of Hyrule, who acted as a conductor, using the magical item known as the Wind Waker to retain the Master Sword's power to repel evil. However, after the events of the Great Flood, the Kokiri adapted and took on the form of the Koroks. And that's about it for the Kokiri. I know there isn't much, but like I said in the beginning